From Up North News, this is a letter from the editor. I'm Pat Kreitlow, talking this week about noise versus sounds. While I'm on the lake steps, heading down to Lake Wissota, you can maybe hear the sounds of the waves and maybe a cardinal that passes by, or even the swoosh of a golf club across the way here. Those are things that are the sounds that we prefer to have in Wisconsin, not the noise that should only be brought up for good reasons, maybe cheering on a team on the local field or a stock car on a dirt track. Political noise is rarely good or productive because so often it's ginned up anger. You know, right-wing media has ginning up anger as basically its business plan. So it was no surprise that late last week, political groups were able to gin up enough anger to get people to come to the Capitol grounds and protest a governor I would hazard to guess a lot of them didn't vote for anyway. But the groups behind this got the media attention that they were looking for. And when you look at the shots of the crowd, of course, it's somewhat impressive to see 1,000 to 2,000 people there, until you compare it to other views of, say, the Women's March in 2017 or the protests in 2011 with 100,000 people marching around the Capitol against what would later be known as Act 10, the removal of certain workers' rights here in Wisconsin. Those are cases where noise was made for a good reason and hopefully a rare one. You know, it's no surprise that the crowd last week was a lot smaller. There's been no shortage of polling that indicates that most of you still agree with and want to abide by the safer at home restrictions that have, yes, affected our lives deeply, but have also kept more of us alive. Remember, this is a virus still very much on the march. It has sickened more than 5,000 in Wisconsin, taken more than 260 lives here, more than 50,000 lives nationwide. There continue to be hotspots and flare-ups. First it was tourists, cruise ship passengers, then it was densely packed neighborhoods with public health issues, nursing homes, lately meatpacking plants. It's hard to say exactly when and where the next outbreak, hotspot, flare-up will take place. This is a very determined virus, as evidenced by the fact that here in Wisconsin, about 15% of those COVID-19 patients are healthcare workers. That's why it was so encouraging to see on those same west steps of the Capitol the night before the protests last week, candles lit. Noise replaced by the silence of more than 1,300 candles, one lit for every person in Wisconsin who's needed hospital care in order to breathe, in order to live. The silence of those candles in stark contrast to the noise those people in the hospital have to deal with, ventilators, monitors, and all kinds of alarms. Look, we wish this weren't so, but this is going to be our new normal for a while. Life is going to resume in stages as we are able to increase testing and decrease the odds of that next flare-up happening in your community or with those same healthcare workers who don't want the next candle to be lit for them. Ironically, the people protesting last week did so on the very day that some of the safer at home restrictions were being eased. It's a process that will continue, no matter how much noise is made. So look, making noise when somebody's trying to take away your rights at work, well, that's something that we hope should be rare and is certainly good. Making noise at the people and about the safeguards, trying to keep you alive, well, you're always going to be in the smaller group there. That's a letter from the editor. I'm Pat Kreitlow.